When I pull up, know it's going down. Foot on the gas, ain't no slowing down.
Get the little.
Okay, there we go. I already cracked mine open. We rolling though? Yep. Good. All right. Welcome back to another podcast. This is our last Shocking Good Time episode. Me and Elijah, we're actually going to start our own podcast. So this podcast originally started with our family company, electrical power source, Apex General. But me and Elijah are going to start venturing out and start doing our own thing, potentially starting like our own social media content and things like that. But yeah, this is our last Shocking Good Time episode. We're thinking of a couple names. We have a couple names thought of. I think actually just one that we really want to stick with. V1 pretty much represents an acceleration or a speed in aviation where once the aircraft has reached a certain speed, it's able to rotate, which means like lift off the runway. And it pretty much just symbolizes us accelerating and taking off in life. We thought it was a pretty cool name. Some people disagree, but
We don't care.
yeah. Yeah, so I think we're going to go with V1, either V1 or I don't know. We were talking about Gear Up. Also, Gear Up sounded pretty cool. But yeah, it's but our content isn't going to be just aviation themed. No. It's just something that I thought of.
Honestly, so I guess I could start on that. So the Shocking Good Time was really for us to spotlight other businesses, and I feel like we don't do that very much.
Yeah.
I feel like you and I, we've talked about a lot of different things, and that was one of the reasons.
Things that businesses don't really talk about either.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we probably are doing away with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's still going to be a Shocking Good Time though, and we might be on it here and there, but with us starting the other one, V1 or Takeoff, whatever you want to call it. We haven't decided yet, but with us having this podcast, it's going to be more towards, just people that we like to talk to, the conversations that we like to have, and yeah. So it's a little bit about up and coming podcasts that we're going to start having, and just hope that we can make a good time out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
I know you had a couple questions. I don't know if you want to start.
See, I brought the questions last time, so I think...
You want me to ask you some questions? Yeah, you're right, bro. I haven't really asked you any questions. I got to ask you some questions, man.
But I do have questions, though, like if you were...
Nah, for sure. I mean, I do have some things like we could talk about, for sure. I guess, Stephen, like, what are you working on right now? And tell me a little bit about your life and where you feel like you're at right now.
Yeah, so, I mean, I know we briefly touched on this the last time we were having our podcast.
Yeah.
Right now, man, I am working, man. I'm working. Tonight, I'm meeting with one of my buddies. Actually, I'm going to tell him about the podcast, too, so he can tune in and start watching.
Who's it?
My buddy Casey, he's also another pilot.
Nice.
He this past Monday, he just passed his check ride for his commercial rating.
Nice.
So so pretty much in your commercial rating, once you achieve your commercial rating, you can start being compensated as a pilot. Because it's not like, oh, you're a pilot, you can start making money. It doesn't work that way. In the eyes of the FAA, they need you to like reach a new level of, I guess, a new and not a new skill level, but a new. So the way the commercial rating is broken down is the limitations are a lot tighter. So when you're practicing your landings or on your landings on your check ride, instead of you having 250 feet on like to make it on the runway, they'll only give you like 100 feet or something like that. I don't know the complete rules because I'm not at commercial level yet. So I do know that the limitations and how much leniency the DP or the examiner gives you, it's a lot tighter. It's a lot stricter. So your landings have to be on point. Your maneuvers have to be on point. It's just a lot. It's a lot stricter of a. It's a lot more strict of a test.
Got you.
But yeah, I'm meeting with him tonight, and we're gonna just catch up, man. He's a really motivating man. I think he's a couple years older than me.
Nice.
But he started out at another flight school, then bounced around to a couple different flight schools here in Fresno, and then he's at the flight school that I'm currently, or that I was going to, that I plan on going back to. But yeah, we're gonna just kind of chat it up a little bit. I do plan on getting into the plane with him because we're both rated to fly together and long time together and stuff. So I'm gonna be meeting with him, and hopefully we can jump in the plane together and go on a couple trips. It'd be cool, we can
Heck yeah.
definitely start exploring. But yeah, other than that, man,
I gotta. My bad.
So,
I mean, cut you off or anything. But I got a couple questions, like just to kind of fire off at you. Kind of off topic of pilot and being in the air and things. Obviously, going to pilot school and everything to become a pilot takes a lot of practice, takes a lot of schooling, I guess.
yeah.
Do you, in your opinion, do you feel like people have to go to school to be successful? And like, what is your take on that?
So I think it depends. It depends on what you're going to school for and what line of work you're trying to get into. Like, to become a pilot, 1,000%, bro. Like, you can't just, I'm just gonna become a pilot and just like wing it, like, no pun intended. But there is no winging it in aviation. It's either you know it or you don't. Mm-hmm. And your life or other lives can be at stake, just because if you don't know what you're doing, what the heck are you even flying an airplane for, So, but in other cases, I don't think so, man. I think money is made through human interaction in itself, like you can have all the knowledge and dude, I know so many people that didn't go to school that are making a crap ton of money. And I don't think that school is a necessity. I think that growing up and going to school, I think school, like regular public school, teaches people to go to school, like even more, like outside, like once you graduate, that your counselors, everyone's always pushing you, like, oh, where are you going to go to college? Where are you going to go to college? But dude, there is so many college students that graduate with their bachelor's degree, and it's like, oh, like, yeah, I got my bachelor's degree, but I really don't know what I want to do yet. Or like, I got a bachelor's degree, but I'm only starting out at like $20 an hour. Like, what the hell was all that schooling for then,
Yeah.
Yeah, so long, like, I mean, I guess to answer your question, no, man, I don't think that you have to go to school to be successful or to make money. And, I mean, some people go to school because they enjoy it, I guess. Like, some people, like, think, like, college is cool and, like, I guess it's all just preference, whether you, like, want to go because, I want to go experience the college experience, or I don't know. I've been to like UCSB before, and it's pretty cool out there. Like, if you're somebody that's not really worried about like how you're gonna be set up financially in the future, yeah, like I don't think you're a bad person for going to college just because I don't agree with it. Like that's just your preference. But what do you think?
My opinion on it, I honestly think that to some sort of level, you have to go to school for anything.
Oh yeah,
like for the thing that I'm doing right now, school in my opinion, like school it looks different for everybody. Mm-hmm. Like if you want to progress in life and go to school or learn things, you have to be willing to, like, if you're not gonna go to a standard, like, hey, I'm gonna go to class at 10:00, finish by 3, whatever it is, like, you have to go to school in your own way. Like, you have to go open a book and read it. Like, you have to, something has to school you. Like something has to, like, you got to gain knowledge, and that's in order to gain some type of traction in life. So in my opinion, like, school is not just me sitting in a class and listening to a teacher. It could be
you teaching yourself.
Like, or like watching videos, or like learning something that I didn't know before. Like, I feel like I'm getting schooled every day, bro. like
I feel that.
Especially like with the way of hanging out with bigger fish than me. Like, I'm not a big fish, bro. I'm not. Like, that's not what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm if that's the case, I'm hanging out with whales, bro. Like, I'm trying to I'm trying to level up, And I mean, I know you are too. You're probably hanging around people that they're a lot farther ahead of you in life, as far as in the pilot arena. So you're getting schooled every day. That's the type of school that I guess I go to, And people will disagree, but I mean,
I do think that college, for the majority of it, and this is a hot take, like, I think the majority of like the education system, as far as like even public school, I think it's a waste of time. It's a scam. Cause dude, why are kids graduating from colleges and not knowing like, or not even not knowing, but not having the opportunity that they should be having? Because dude, they put in 4 years of their life, bro, to a degree that it's a piece of paper that sometimes it means nothing because what, you're only making $20-$25 an hour getting out of college. Like, dude, if you're giving 4 years of your life, you should be able to be compensated for that. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's why some people like continue to go to school. Like, oh, I'm gonna go to get my master's. Like,
Yeah.
all right, like,
I think it doesn't apply to everything.
yeah,
Like, honestly, like if there's certain jobs that I would like. All right, you need to go to college. Like,
explain.
doctor.
Okay,
Like,
yep.
Like that's one that.
But that's a more like technical,
like non-negotiable, bro. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have a doctor perform surgery on me. And bro got his degree from online or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
Like there's certain things that they have to do in college to.
No, for sure.
Like.
But do you think that? All right, so name some careers that you don't feel like you need to have a college degree that are requiring you to have.
Marketing. Case in point, this guy right here that's behind the camera.
Yes, sir.
this guy's awesome at editing, bro.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah,
And,
there's plenty of them, dude. I think that I can name some that are a necessity. Like, yeah, like being a doctor, being a lawyer. Dang, bro, I think that's all I got.
I mean, nurses.
Yeah, I mean that's part of being like the medical field is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Yeah, the medical field, the legal like arena. I'm sure there's more out there. Just
Scientists,
I can't
people that are developing.
stuff like that. You know,
chemistry. I mean, there's stuff like
there's stuff that does require it, bro. But man, like if you're getting a college degree to go work in an office all day and you're just gonna be doing the same things over and over and over, and you're not even using your bachelor's degree or your master's degree for what you're working in, I think you got robbed, bro. Like honestly, like I mean, I see the stuff that we do here, and I mean, maybe like a college degree would bring some benefits to what we got going on here, but for the most part, I think like you learn the most when it's more like the things like the hands-on stuff you're doing, the stuff you're doing, like that's when you actually learn what you need to do, you know?
Yeah.
It's the actual job experience, not the schooling experience. Because I think like the schooling just, it teaches you how to like be a good employee, if that makes sense. But I don't know. I never really wanted to go to college.
I guess it's true.
I never wanted to go to college outside of like when I was getting ready to graduate. It was always like, man, I want to go work for my dad, or I want to go like be my own contractor, and that was my plan getting out of high school. I wanted to be an electrician, be a phenomenal electrician, and then work my way up, and then start working in the office. And it's kind of Dad's fault why I'm like the way I am now, because like he introduced me to aviation, so he did that to himself. But no, I'm just messing around. But he introduced me to Derek, and then Derek kind of like, dude, he just put me on, bro. And it's I don't want to get stuck doing something that I just like know that's just getting me by for the rest of my life. I'd rather, you know, put in the hard work and struggle momentarily and live a life that I enjoy every single day than wake up and clock in and clock out of the same job over and over and over for the rest of my life. You know, like I don't want to live my life like that. You know, I want to do what I love, you know, because if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm chasing after. But yeah, that's pretty much like where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But I do see myself like doing a lot of things that I wish I could be doing now a lot later in life. Like I know I do. You're a more strict version of like what I'm doing, but I think that's you started your life a lot sooner than I did. Like you got married, you had kids at a young age, you know, all that stuff. Like man, like
I don't think when you say like I'm a stricter version of you, like that like I feel like that's not completely true. I feel like both of us have very good like different attributes that we bring to the table. Like for you, for example, what I noticed about you is that you don't do anything unless you're super prepared for it, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. Like when you went to take your pilot license test, like you didn't take it until you knew you were ready. You know, like me, for example, I've been trying to take my C20 test for the last 6 months. And I've been studying and I think I'm ready and then I go and I'm not ready, you know, like, and, yeah, I mean, that's a perfect example of like two different people, you know, like if realistically, if I would sit down and just, you know, take the time to study and learn the proper things before I go in that test and maybe talk to more people that have taken it before, I might have passed it a lot sooner. So, and that's just like an example of like the difference between us. Like I feel like you go into situations a lot more prepared than me. I'm just like, throw me in and I'll get burned, but I'll figure it out.
I feel like I hate the feeling of losing, bro. I hate the feeling of failing. I hate it. Like I hate it more than comparing to the feeling of like winning. I'd rather obviously I'd rather win than lose, but the feeling of losing outweighs the feeling of winning, if that makes sense. Like how it affects me, you know?
Yeah, no,
I hate not like performing or I hate performing and not getting the job done. I remember going into my test, I was so like, there's no way that I'm coming home without this certificate, bro. Like, but in my head, I knew I was ready. I knew I was like, I'm gonna get it done, you know? Like I'm equipped. I've gone through every situation, every scenario in my head. There's nothing that if there's something that goes wrong, it's because like I haven't came across that situation before, you know? And yeah, man, that's kind of like how I like to go in. I do like to go in prepared. I don't like to I don't want to have any doubts going into any situation, you know? Even in work, like when I'm working on a project like for electrical, I want to make sure. I was just talking about this to Dad the other day, but I don't like being unprepared. I like going into a job knowing like, okay, where are my materials? Where's everything at? Okay, I got this, and this, and this is my task for today. I know that there's nothing that's gonna stop me from getting this job done today. I don't like doing the callbacks. I don't like going back and like, oh, we couldn't finish because I didn't have X, Y, and Z today. It's always no. I have everything, and if I don't have something in that moment, I make a phone call and I get it done. You know. But yeah, I do understand what you're saying about that.
Yeah. I know you had some questions for me, man. I don't know if you want to ask a couple of those, like, so we can kind of, you know.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
I think we're kind of changing it up a little bit right here, but I was gonna ask you, about, like, what do you consider what is your idea of the American dream? You know, like, what do you feel like the American dream is? Do you feel like it's the same for everybody? Do you feel like it's different for everybody? In 2025, when you think of the American dream, what do you think it is? Do you think it's like freedom of like financially, working your dream job? Is it a little mixture of everything? And do you feel like you're accomplishing your idea of the American dream?
Yeah. That is a good question. So, in my opinion, I feel like the American dream, or like the idea of it, or whoever I don't even know who came up with that concept, the American dream, but I feel like not a lot of people take it as serious as they did like back when that phrase first came out. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like a lot of people. I feel like here in America, bro, we got it easy, bro. Like I feel like it's so easy to be successful here. You know.
Well, define successful though before.
Like if you want to do something, no matter what it is, you just start walking in that direction, and it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, there's people that in certain countries that don't have access to water. You know, like we got everything that we need here. We have the internet. Some people don't even have internet like that in some countries, man. Like you could change your life pretty fast if you just put your mindset in the right place. You know? So I feel like the American dream, it's not hyped up here as much as like people think from like on the outside looking in. Like people came for the American dream because like when I feel like that first came out when everyone was kind of like moving to the continent. You know, like they were like, oh yeah, we're coming here. We're gonna come here for opportunity. Yeah, being successful. But everyone's kind of like, there's a lot of people here already. You know, so we don't talk about it as much. Yeah, you know. I think the American dream is still very strong for some people, but not for the vast majority. You know, like
Yeah.
I think there's certain people that are like still the 1%ers. That's we talk about, like that 1%, like that are doing something different with their life, or you know, like
Yeah.
like I think those people are the true, like, oh, like I'm shooting for my American dream. What's your American dream in your eyes?
I feel like mine is, one is financial freedom. You know, I want to be able to. I was explaining this to somebody one time, and maybe I just didn't explain it right. But I do know that there's gonna be stress in your life, no matter what it is. If it's personal, like work, like I don't I don't ever want like finances to be my stress though, you know?
Yeah.
I want to be able to work hard enough to where finances are my least concern, you know? And I know that I am working in that direction, and I see it in my mind like one day I am going to be financially set, you know?
Mm.
So I don't have to worry about, oh man, like did the mortgage get paid, or man, like my car payment's coming up, or oh man, like I want to be able to provide that to my loved ones, to my family and things. Um, but I guess like my ultimate, like I don't even know if you want to call it the American dream or just like my dream, but it's being able to do what I love every single day. Wake up and all right, this is what I want to do, and do it because I love it, but also it's I'm doing something that's helping other people as well. You know, I'm not just I want to be able to serve people with what I'm doing. You know, and
Yeah.
I guess that part I haven't completely figured out yet. I don't know what it is. I know right now I'm very passionate about just getting back into flying and like continuing my schooling and things. And I don't know, that's all I really see right now. But I know like we've talked about like the real estate things. I know you bought your fair share, like your houses and things of,
Yeah.
and I know mom and dad, they purchased their first piece of commercial real estate, you know, which is awesome, you know. And I really admire that, and I look up to that, you know. Like I think it'd be cool to be a developer one day, you know, start developing. Honestly, man, like I know there's not that much going on out here in Easton, but it'd be really cool to like develop Easton, you know. Really like everything that comes into Easton is always like it comes and goes, you know.
Yeah, I was talking.
Nothing ever stays, you know.
I was talking to Nate, from Valero about that. Nate, everyone knows Nate from the Valero specifically, but Nate's my friend. You know, Nate's our friend. And it kind of made sense when I was talking to him. You know, like he was just saying the reason why no businesses are coming to Easton is because the population is so low here. If you look up the population in Easton, it's like 2,000. You know, it's like 2,200 people that live here. And it makes sense. If there's not that many people here, there's not going to be very much business, you know, unless certain times like football season, baseball, like there's people coming in for that. So I think the first thing to populate, you know, to make a town or a city successful is the population, growing the
housing,
people,
yeah.
the housing.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first thing that needs to be focused on here is the housing. No one wants to sell their property here.
Yeah, that was one thing that I think I talked to you about that, man. Everyone's holding on to their...
Whenever a property comes up for sale in Easton, boom, someone else buys it, and they're usually from here already, right? Like they don't like. That's one thing about Easton. They don't like outsiders. Like they're all tight knitted, and everyone knows each other. You know? So, so yeah, if that's something that you're like talking about growing Easton and stuff like that, I kind of feel like now that we live here, you know, or since we have lived here practically our whole life, that's something that we kind of all think about inside of our households, like how do we grow Easton, right? Like we talk about putting nice little shops here, and I mean, if you notice some of the shops here in Easton right now, man, like not a lot of them make it. Like I think they had like a pizza parlor across the street from the school. Like you would have thought that would have went like good, but nah. Like and then the water problem too. That's another issue. Like there's no water here. And
I think that's more like of a political issue though. Like the residents or the people of Easton voted on the city not to bring water out here. But dude, like it doesn't make sense. Like if we would have brought water here, the prices would have been up, you know, like as far as like housing. Like it would have brought up housing.
They're talking about tax. Like there's some people that are on the like, oh, I don't want to pay more taxes, but they don't realize that also their housing valuation is going to go up as well, because I mean they're gonna bring water, man. It's like it's guaranteed water from the city, you know.
And it's dude. Like I think the people that are voting against it don't know what it's like, or maybe they do. They just really against it. But man, like, it's common for like wells to go dry, bro. Like, especially like in your situation where like there was like 4 houses sharing on one well. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like that doesn't even make sense, dude. Like, imagine. I know you went to bed thinking about that every night, or not maybe not every night, but you went to bed thinking about like, man, like, oh, like what if my well just goes dry like that?
Every time my water pressure was low, I was definitely thinking about it.
Exactly,
like,
and like people don't know, like, dude, it's like 40 to 50, depending on how deep you go, like 50 grand, bro, just to drill a new well.
Yeah.
And I think that's just it's something that people don't really think about, but it's country living, you know.
Yeah. The whole thing about like people not wanting to buy real estate or to bring water in, it's all derives from like that, oh, like what if this happens or what if this happens, you know? Like for me personally, like if I'm gonna buy water or if I'm gonna buy housing out here, I'm gonna drill a well. I don't care if they say, oh yeah, the city's gonna move water in the next couple of years. Like that might be the case, and I might, you know, have to cover the well that I just drilled like 3 years ago eventually.
Yeah.
But who cares? It's in the moment. Like I'm able to, you know, like do the well and then like get more equity out of my home. You know, like there's things that I could do in that moment to benefit my situation for that house. If that makes sense. So I'm not too worried about like, oh, what if this happens, or like what if the city brings water finally? Like, okay, what if they don't? You know, like I'm not gonna sit here and wait around. Like some people also talk about like, oh, the housing market's gonna, you know, like the interest rates are gonna go lower. Maybe we should wait. You should wait to buy. Like, no, I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna just do it, and then I can always refinance later. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like that's
a lot of people have that waiting mentality.
They're always waiting for the right time. Yeah.
You're gonna wait all the way till your grave, bro. Like that's like the perfect opportunity will never happen. You just have to work through your situation that you're in. You know, like I mean, there's a difference between just standing by and like watching from the sideline and actually getting in the game and making a play. You know, like
I think there's a house for sale here in Easton, where we were just talking about it.
Yeah.
Pretty nice, man. I want to buy a house pretty soon, man. And when I say pretty soon, I don't know when, but dude, it would be nice to.
I'm thinking about. I know we just talked about this last podcast about like debt and stuff like that, like 3 or 4 months, or no, 3 or 4 podcasts ago. I have debt still that I'm still paying off, right? Like we're still working actively on that, but in the meantime, I'm also thinking about what I could do now to help my process. Because if I just wait here and not do anything extra and just, you know, follow the original plan that I put together to pay off my debt, yeah, I'll pay off my debt eventually. But it's going to be a lot more time that because things are going to get in the way. Life's going to get in the way. Unexpected expenses are going to come up. And I'll always be, you know, what is that phrase called? Chewing at the bit? Is that what it's called? Like, or what is that? I don't know. You know what? Forget that I said that. Like...
What's up, Tommy?
Yeah, I'll always be doing. Basically, I'll always be doing the same thing, bro. Like I feel like there's, like if I'm not doing anything extra outside of my original plan to help push that along, it's just gonna take. It's gonna take a long time, you know.
Yeah. And if the opportunity presented itself for you to buy like another rental property like today or like this week, would you jump on it or would you?
Bro, if it was a really good opportunity, I mean, I think I would be dumb not to look into my options.
Yeah.
You know,
because do you feel like you're in the financial like spot right now to make that decision, or do you feel like your debt is pretty significant to where like you need to keep paying it off?
I mean, it's still pretty significant. I paid off half of it, and that was like in a year. So I felt like that's a pretty good milestone, you know. But there's always a way to do something if you just figure it out.
Yeah.
No matter how crazy that sounds, like we've been in some pretty crappy situations, bro, and I don't like saying it this way, but like if you do what you need to do, man, like you'll get out of the situation that you're in. You know, there's that phrase, there's always tomorrow. You know, like as long as you get up and don't quit, like you'll be here tomorrow. As Lord willing. The only thing that can take you out of the equation is God. Like that's anything else. Like if God still has you here, you're gonna be here tomorrow. If that makes sense. Like He has you for a reason, and it's up to you if you're gonna quit or not. That's the decision that you make, and honestly, there will always be regret with quitting. There always will be. There's been a few times in my life where I've quit on something, and I regretted it. You know, I've always regretted it. It's not anything specifically, but every time, like in my mind, when I know I've quit something, I've regretted quitting. And
You'd rather not start something than start it and quit.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's like your opinion too. Like if you start something, you want to finish it. You know.
I was telling this to somebody the other day. Like, I've done a handful of things, like as far as like hobbies or sports, or like we did football, jiu-jitsu, football. Even took like guitar lessons for a little bit, like just stuff like that. Hey, dude, like I am a very, I don't want to say unpassionate person. Like when it comes to like myself, like being interested in things, but like I'm not really interested in a lot of things, bro. Like sports, I don't pay attention to sports. I'll throw on a football game or like a baseball game or maybe like a boxing match or something. But as far as like knowing the stats and knowing everything, like I'm not the guy. Like I'm not. I don't really pay attention. And as far as like being like really interested about something, like even try golfing. Golfing is cool, but like I don't have the passion like to really just go out and really learn. You know, the only thing that I've really been passionate about is like the whole aviation thing, man. Like I love it, bro. Like it's one thing that I cannot stop thinking about. I cannot stop. Like it's something that's always in the back of my mind. It's always I'm thinking about it every day, you know?
Yeah.
And I read something that said don't give up on something that you think about every day. And that's the one thing, obviously like outside of my family and like my like walk with God and things, like I think about it every day. Think about it every day.
What do I think about gambling every day? Should I stop that?
Oh, 1,000%, bro. But you're not a gambler, though.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
you know.
But yeah, I think about it every day, and that's how I know. I feel like God has placed that in my heart and in my life. You know, like I have to chase this, and it's like the only thing that always comes back to me. You know, it's the only thing like that I actually know that I love, and I'm excited to get back into it.
Yeah. Last question for you, because I think this is a good question.
What's up?
Do you think it's okay to put your career in front of your loved ones or your family at one point in your life?
Yes, but it depends, you know? Like, it depends. It depends on, like, it depends on what the extent is, you know? And I'm talking about, like, if it's life or death situation, of course, you need to be with your loved ones, for sure.
Where's the line?
I think dang, dude, I feel like I feel like my girlfriend's gonna be watching this, bro. She's gonna be pissed. She's gonna be pissed.
It don't matter, bro. What's your true opinion on
honestly,
that?
man,
Where's the line?
the line, it's for me. Are you asking for me personally?
Yeah, where's your line?
What you laughing about? Tell me. Okay, so like, yeah, so the line for me, man.
Somebody next to you.
Dude, I've had a lot of arguments with my girlfriend, and bro, to be honest, I don't think there is a line, bro. Like I go until I know where I'm okay, like I'm good, you know.
Yeah.
Like okay, I've gotten enough like knowledge, I've studied hard enough today, like I do a pretty good job of just shutting it off, you know, shutting her off. Like all right, like I'm gonna get to you when I get to you, but right now you just gotta let me work. You gotta let me study.
Yeah.
You gotta let me like soak it all in, you know? So right now for me it's easy to say that because I don't have kids and like I'm not married. So it's easy for me just to like put my phone on do not disturb and just put my phone off to the side and just really just go to school or go to work, you know? So for me, there's not really a line. Like and she knows that too. She knows that like I'm not gonna, if she knows that if she's putting me in a position to where I'm gonna have to pick what I'm working towards or pick her, she knows I'm gonna pick what I'm working towards every single time.
Yeah.
And she knows not to put me in that situation.
Crazy thing is that a lot of people are gonna listen to that and they're gonna disagree with you, and but that's okay. I do agree with what you're saying right now. And the thing is just there's a way to do it. You know,
Yeah.
like if you're in that situation and you, like for example, like I just got done taking my test, I didn't pass. Right, it's very upsetting for me because I feel like I have to spend more time studying and away from my family. Why not set up some structured time? Like, hey, like today when I get home, or like every day until the day of my test, I get home, I'm not talking to you. I'm sorry, but this is the expectation I'm setting for you. Like, I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm not gonna.
And the thing is, you have to set that expectation.
You have to for that small period of time. Like, and I read that "Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins' book. David Goggins, I love David Goggins, bro. Like, he is like like I read that book, bro, and like it just totally, I felt like it took my mind to a whole different level. But he talks about balance in life. He's like, it is okay to become unbalanced when you're trying to be the best at something.
Yes.
You know, and with anything in life, if you're gonna be like this great person and people are gonna look up to you, you have to put in your 110% on anything, bro. Like, and you have to be passionate. You have to be passionate about flying if you're gonna be this looked up to person. Because I feel like men, to a certain point, like us as men and any man, like they want to achieve something in life where it's respectable and people look up to them, right? I feel like that's something a lot of men can share. Like, I want to do something that, all right, this group of people is gonna look up to me, you know, or like, and in order to do that, bro, honestly, I feel like you have to be unbalanced to a certain point, you know, and that's why I asked you, like, where do you draw your line? And I for me personally, I feel like there is a line. It's just you have to, like let your loved ones know where.
Yeah, and it's hard sometimes, bro. Like, it really is. It's hard to like, cause feelings get hurt, and like sometimes, like, I mean, for me, it's not really like this, but like you're, like, cause I'm not married, but like people's marriages will be on the ropes, you know, like because. I went to, and I know we're going past our time, but I went hiking with a buddy of mine a while back, and we're hiking, and we're having like the same conversation, and he told me something. He was like, "Look, Stephen," he's like, when you're like climbing a mountain or like climbing a rock, you can't pull people up with you. You have to get to the top and drop down the rope and pull them up to help them out. You know, so if you're trying to drag people with you and like. And you're trying to like pile it all in at once, it's going to take you a really long time, or maybe you're not even going to get there. So sometimes what you got to do is put all that, they're distractions. You got to put them to the side.
Leave them down there.
Yeah. Get to where you're trying to be at in life and then help them out. Because it's a lot easier to pull somebody up than to have somebody strapped to your back and you're trying to pull them up the whole time, you know? So that's good. It's a really good analogy, and it's something that kind of sticks with me. But I know that we went way past our time, but
8 minutes, not that bad.
Oh, I thought we were going 25 minutes.
Oh, was it 25 minutes?
Yeah, but yeah, well, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching, and like I said, we're coming up with a new name and a new. I think we're gonna throw in a new intro as well. We have a couple ideas that we want to go with, but yeah, stay tuned for what we got coming.
And if there's anyone that you want on the podcast, and any of the viewers that are actually interacting with our posts and things, let us know who you want next on the podcast, and we will consider it for sure. Thank you, guys.
Sounds good. See you guys. Peace.